old one leading the salah. Likewise, we had discussed about the issue of the salatu, or the salah of the women, or the presence of the women in the masjid or in the masajid. The presence of the women in the masjid or in the masajid. There were a few conditions that the Shaykh Hafidhahullah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentioned, right? After saying that it is permissible that the woman be praying in the masjid, or the woman to be present in regard to some admonishment or some lessons and the likes of that. But there was some prerequisite, or there was some requirement prior to that. What was that?
Permission from her husband.
Very good. The first one is that she has to have the permission of the husband. Adam? Ahsanta, that the woman's dress code has to be what? Has to be in line with the Sharia, right? She cannot expose herself. And we talked about briefly, we mentioned 4 from among the conditions of the dress code of the woman. Anybody remember? Hassan? We talked about the dress code of the woman. We mentioned 4 matters, right? From the dress code of the woman. Naam Abu Sufyan. Right, one of them is that she has to, her jalbab, or has to be long, right? Long enough to be at least past or dragging 1 hand span, right? 1 hand span. What else we talked about on that? Right, from the awra in the salah. From the awra in the salah, right? And also, barakallah fikum, from the awra of the woman. This is, you know, the what you call it, the face and the palm, from the hadith of Asma. From the hadith of Asma. What else we talked about? But we were talking about the conditions of the thing. Muhammad. The dress cannot be tight. It has to be loose fitting. It has to be loose fitting. It has to be loose fitting. What else, Adam? Huh? No, the dress first. We talked about the dress. We come into that perfume. Naam. Huh? It should not be it should not be something that is flashy. Yes, that's the word. That's the word. It should not be flashy to the point that she would be, notice a million a mile. Right? And this is something, unfortunately, you have women that they are like that. They love to be flashy. You know what I mean? Right. And that belt, barakallah fikum, is a fitna belt. Yeah, it is. Right? It's a fitna belt. Because that belt is to really show your shape. Right? Huh? It is to show your shape. It is to show your cut. That's what it is. Right? So we talked about that the dress has to be loose, and it has to be loose. It has to be long, right? It has to be what? It cannot be flashy. What else we talked about? We mentioned 4. It should not be see-through. Very good. It should not be transparent. It should not be see-through, barakallahu feekum. It should not be see-through. It should not be transparent, right? And likewise for the men too. Their clothes should not be so tight that it is showing their form. And barakallah fi, many times in the salah, you find grown men having a problem to go for sujood or ruku'u. Or they always have to have 1 hand behind. Why? Because their cracks might be shown when they go ruku'u or sujood. And this is why, alhamdulillah, easy matter, easy, very easy. You at work or you go into work, get a thawb in your car or get your idhar, alhamdulillah. That will prevent you from a lot of things now, Mr.
Also, the woman's clothes should take men's clothes.
Right, and this is where exactly we talked about that her clothing has to be long. Amma the man, the clothing has to be what? Short above the ankles. And likewise, those clothes that are known to the man is not for the woman to wear it. Like vice versa. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned in the hadith, he say, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُتَأَنِّسِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالْمُتَرَجِّلَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. He say, woe to those men trying to resemble women, and woe to women that are resembling the men in any shape or form. Rip. That's not a respectable person. It's not the manners of the respectable person to be wearing things that are cut up just because it is what the kuffar put out there. I'm very sure you will never come to the Arabic class and find Ustaz Hassan dressed like that. No, you will not come to the minbar and find Abu Muhammad dressed like that. No, you will not look at Shaykh Fawzaan Hafidhahullah, see him with, ripped pair of jeans. Hasha lillah. Right? Certain things, mashallah, alhamdulillah, Allah made us Muslim. Let us stick with that program until we die. وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. That's it. It's not what you're going to do that they will accept you. And most of the time, if they know you're Muslim and you're trying to do what they do, they will never have respect for you. Abadan. Because they see in you a weak man trying to blend in, trying to please them. And this is by essence though. This is tabi'iyatul bashar. The person that is trying to please you and you know it, you will not have no respect for him. Just observe this. But a person that is, alhamdulillah, he keep it 100, as they say, right? He keep it 100 with you. Alhamdulillah. You have respect for their stands. You got respect for their stands. Ala ayyin. Hayakallah. So this, and alhamdulillah, you go into school, look, if there is nothing to say you cannot you cannot have a thobe on, get your thobe on. You have a job where nobody cannot tell you, barakallah fikum, if there is no, of course, there is no, no rules, huh? Job outline, meaning, dress code, barakallah fiqh. As long as there is no dress code to say, this is how you got to dress at your job, alhamdulillah. If it is open for everybody to dress how they want to, barakallah fikum, put your thobe on. Right? And this is, alhamdulillah, it's a reminder. It's a reminder. It's a reminder for the disbelievers. It's a reminder for the and yourself, because certain things you won't do. SubhanAllah. And this is important. Remember that one of the brothers, he mentioned that when sometime he drive and he might be doing something that he really know he didn't do that, he would kind of pull his kufi away. Right? He will take his kufi right away because he doesn't want the kuffar to see his kufi and to attach his action to Islam. Right? He might cut somebody else, he will just put his kufi, put it on the side. Because he don't want the individual to the kuffar to attach this or to give the guy to say anything about the Muslims. The man must say, look at them, I knew it, he was a Muslim, look at him. Right? And these are the things, barakallah fikum, alhamdulillah, us living in the lands or in the ranks of the disbelievers, wal-iyadhu billah. May Allah allow us to make hijrah, ameen. And this is a matter that we all have to be very, cautious about, alhamdulillah. Naam, so alhamdulillah, tonight we're going to start from we covered also the masjid, alhamdulillah, where is the masjid to pray? Meaning, he mentioned about the masjid where the congregation is bigger. And the reason, alhamdulillah, why he mentioned it, number one was from the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he mentioned that the salah of a man, right, is better, the salah of two men is better than the salah of one individual. Right? The salah of two men is better than the salah of one man. طيب. And also he mentioned, barakallah fikum, the other wisdom, which is, he say, فَفِيهِ أَنَّمَا كَثُرَ جَمْعُهُ فَهُوَ أَفْضَلُ. And he mentioned that also, whatever the congregation is larger, it is better. Whenever the congregation is larger, it is better. He say, لِمَا فِيهِ الْإِجْتِمَاعِ مِن نُزُولِ الرَّحْمَةِ وَالسَّكِينَةِ. He say, because of also that congregation, that it result of the descending of the rahmah, right? The descending of the mercy of Allah, was-sakina. And as-sakina, some of the scholars, they gave as-sakina to mean some type of angels, right? Some type of angels, meaning angels that all they do is to look around what? Circles of dhikr. And without a doubt, circles of dhikr, barakallahu fikum, the best of them is what? The salah. Because in the salah that you have all types of dhikr in it. In the salah you have a tahmeed, ahakada. In the salah you have takbir, isn't it? In the salah you have the tasbih, isn't it? In the salah you have as-salah ala nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, isn't it? In the salah you have qira'atul Quran, right? Isn't it? In the salah you have the adhkar that are from the body limbs. Because making sujood, it is a form of what? Of remembering Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Making ruk'u kadhalik. Making qiyam kadhalik. The standing position. Likewise, it is what? It is from the remembrance of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Right? That's why he say, وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. But the remembrance of Allah tabaraka is greater. And he mentioned it right after he mentioned about the salah. Right after he mentioned about the salah. طيب. Naam, so the Shaykh Hafidhahullah, he mentioned. So therefore, was sakina. As-sakina, as the hadith say, مَجْتَمَعَ قَوْمٌ فِي بَيْتٍ مِّن بُيُوتِ اللَّهِ. There is not a group among the people that gather together in one of the masajid of Allah. يَتُلُونَ أَوْ يَتَدَارَسُونَ فِي مَا بَيْنَهُم. One narration say they will read between them the Quran. The other one say يَتَدَارَسُونَ فِي مَا بَيْنَهُم. And they learn and teach one another. إِلَّا except نَزَلَ عَلَيْكُمُ الرَّحْمَةِ. Except that the mercy of Allah will descend on them. And likewise, as-sakina. Some of the scholars, they say that as-sakina here, it is a jam'a from the angels. Meaning it is a group from the angels. Those who will they descend and they will lower their wings upon the musallin, upon those who are establishing the salah. And he mentioned also, وَلِشُمُولِ الدُّعَاءِ. And likewise, it involves that which is a comprehensive supplication. Right? It involves a comprehensive supplication. Right? Because remember, barakallahu fikum, in the salah, when the imam, he say, right, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. He is not making the dua for himself alone, is he? But rather, ماذا يقول? اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Meaning this is the dua for all of us. Right? Likewise, and this is why also the scholar, they mentioned that for the imam, that when he is making the supplications in the salah, he has to make it jam'a. He cannot make it to himself alone, but rather he has to make the supplication for everybody. For instance, he cannot be saying, Allahumma ati nafsi taqwaha wa zakkiha, but rather he will say, Allahumma ati nufusana taqwaha wa zakkiha. طيب, oh Allah, right? Or Rabbana la tudhiq qulubana, not Rabbana la tadhiq qalbi, or to make the dua for himself alone, but rather to be making it for everybody. طيب. This is why here he mentioned لِشُمُولِ الدُّعَى, for the comprehensive supplication that is in the greater jama'ah, the greater salah. He say, وَالرَّجَاءُ الْإِجَابَةِ, and also the hope that is in the acceptance of the dua, the supplication. Right? That the hope is greater. That the hope in the acceptance in the dua, where the dua is made in a greater congregation, it is the hope in it is higher than if the congregation was small. طيب. And he mentioned, barakallah, a very important point. He say لا سيما